From here on out, every foul is flagrant, boy. Let's go. What's up? Came in a chokehold, more balls than Esco. All right, maybe
you are now tuned into the chat room, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator, and with me today, I got Coach.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
Just us today, but we are honored to have some guests with us. We got some guests that are playing professional basketball right now, and I'm going to give them the chance to introduce themselves, say where they're playing, and then we're going to jump right into the topic. So whoever wants to start, You guys can start.
Akeem Ellis. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. 6'6". I've been playing pro now for about going on 7 to 8 years. Last place I played was Chile. Well, actually, I was in Chile, then I went to Canada. So yeah, Canada was the last place. I was in South America for a while. But yeah, so now I'm just, waiting again till season comes back around, figure out what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna
go. Wright, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. I've been playing pro I'm about to enter my 12th season. So,
Crazy.
I'm vet status right now.
Dope.
Just up in Bulgaria, where we were fortunate enough to win the chip. And now I'm playing in the CEBL. So yeah, go through that and see how we do in that.
Congrats, bro.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Xavier Moon from Goodwater, Alabama. I just finished my 4th year in Israel, 2nd division. Now I'm in Edmonton, getting ready for the CBL to start.
Dope.
Stuff, man.
So quickly, we're gonna start talking about the NBA playoffs so far, and we're coming off of a crazy Game 7 last night.
Hey, I'm really interested. We got a dude from Brooklyn in here, so I'm excited to hear what's going on tonight.
Word.
Crazy Game 7 yesterday. Brooklyn versus the Bucks. The Bucks advancing, but Durant played every minute of the second time this series that he played every single moment of the game. Just came up short at the very end on that very last shot. So how do you guys feel about that series? How do you guys feel about the playoffs so far?
I thought that Kevin Durant, especially for Brooklyn, I thought Kevin Durant was very ready.
For sure.
And you know what I'm saying? I think he's been in that position before, so he knows what to expect now. I think people folded on him in that series.
That's a fact.
Badly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they folded on him badly in that series. And I'm actually not really a Brooklyn fan, and I'm from here. Like, I like the Lakers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
here we go.
But you know what I'm saying? I like the Lakers. But I would have been at the parade. You know what I'm saying, for Brooklyn, but I don't think Brooklyn, and I said this from the beginning, Brooklyn didn't have enough. Regular season was fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was fine for that. Granted, I think if they had Kyrie, they probably would have passed the Bucks. Yeah. But I feel like because of not having Kyrie, and James Harden was
hurt, not James Harden,
exactly, absent again. It was like, it just made it tough. Like, they're lucky they didn't lose in 6 because Game 5 the Bucks should have won.
Yeah, sure.
But KD once again
went nuts,
pulled it out. But it's like, you literally, like, you're lucky to not have lost in 6, because if you lost Game 5, you're getting smoked in Milwaukee in Game 6. It was over.
I'll say,
you know what I'm saying? So
I'll say, if there's one player that I'm super disappointed in for Brooklyn, was Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
If Joe Harris at least hit at least 3 of his shots that he missed in like even the last 3 games, that would have made a huge difference. Like, I don't know
what his
shooting percentage was. Like, that was insane.
If we're being real, like, he's never been under the lights like that. So, like, when it's tight and like yeah, he played for a USA team, but he's just there to spread the court. Like he's never been in a situation where he got to defend because he got to go the other way. He got to defend and then you come back and shoot. Like never been in that kind of role before and shoot a high percentage. So like I didn't expect much from him. Like I knew KD was gonna show up. I knew like if Harden was there, he would like if he was playing, he would have showed up. The only question I had was Kyrie because he's one of those guys that like he'll be special one night and the other night you don't know where you're getting from him. Harden this year, like he was the guy that he wasn't gonna give you 40 every night, but he'll give you 15 assists, any given night, 20 points, he'll run offense through him. But yeah. I
think what this series kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes to is just like how important that depth is. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you have a team of guys who aren't necessarily all, max all NBA type guys, but if you have that depth in that rotation, how it can get you through a 7-game series. Like KD was pretty much playing every minute of the game, and you saw how in overtime he came up short. I don't believe he made a field goal in overtime if I'm correct.
Nah, he was like airball the game winner.
Yeah, and like I feel
legs, man.
Yeah, because I've been through as a pro, I've been through 7-game series, 5-game series, and playing every other night, and it's tough. It's tough, man. So I know there's a big debate on whether Steve Nash could have gave guys a little bit more rest, but at the end of the day, you're kind of a victim of your own situation too. Like you have all these guys who are max contract, all NBA, Hall of Famers, and it's like you kind of have to throw them out there and play them every minute of the game.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, in Game 7, man, you gotta roll with it.
Exactly.
That's a fact. Yeah, everything on the line. So you gotta do that.
Yeah. And
everything on the line.
That's facts.
That's the whole fact. Everything on the line. It's really no choice.
No choice.
How much time have we seen Bron do it? Like.
And Bron
came on the line and
Bron did that for a whole series.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like he played it's like you gotta do it. It is what it is, kind of.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I will say towards that is I give KD a little bit more of a credit for doing it more than Bron because of the fact that this was his return season off of an Achilles tear. Like that is insane.
Yeah.
And I know you. I know they manage time, but even what if you look at I'm talking about a lot of times he has to switch over and guard. He'll be guarding either Giannis or Middleton, and then you have to go back down to score. And then you did that for 3 straight games. You know what I mean? Like that.
I agree.
And then you hit the shot that you think was going to be the game-winning shot, and
inches.
Talking
inches.
About,
inches.
Talking about the line, putting everything on the line like that.
That's 17 foot, like you said.
That's crazy.
It's crazy because I know even for me, and I don't play professionally at all, but even like pickup, sometimes when you hit that shot and you think that the game's over, man, sometimes you don't have that same. You just don't feel it in the overtime game. Like you're just like, because you think mentally you think this game should be over. It's insane. But quick question for you guys: who do you guys, if you guys had to pick one player in this entire playoff so far that you guys want to highlight that you didn't expect was going to do what they're doing, who would that player be?
Trae Young surprising me, man.
I'm going with Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. I was gonna go with Devin Booker too.
I'm going with D-Book only because for him to not he came in the league, hasn't even smelled the playoffs
he's been there.
Hasn't even smelled it, nothing. To be under the lights right now and doing exactly what you're doing on a consistent basis, it's different to watch. Like when I'm literally watching him, it's different. For one, for you to even take Brown out the first round, that's different.
That's tough.
But for you to perform like that, scored 42 in that closeout game in LA? Yeah. He's doing it consistently. It's not I don't want to speak too soon, but he hasn't had a drop off yet. So it's it's different to watch.
I think it's good that he got Chris Paul. Because his first couple of years in the league, he didn't have another ball handler, so he's the primary ball handler. So I feel like it's good for him to have Chris Paul. Now he got somebody else on the other side he can swing the ball to. So now he can get the ball where he wanted, and now he's going to work.
I would say
exactly.
He did have another ball handler. I don't think he had another ball handler that he respected. I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference. Like if for Chris Paul brings a level of leadership to that team that Ricky Rubio wasn't going to bring. Right. So like it's a whole nother dynamic. So I think he just has one that he respects, and you see the impact that can make, like Kawhi with Pascal, Chris Paul with Devin Booker right now. You know what I mean? Like it makes an impact.
My only thing with Booker was that like when they picked up Chris Paul, I expected them to make the playoffs. I expected them to be better because I knew, like, we've seen what Chris Paul has done with young teams. Like we've seen how he brought OKC along. Like we've seen.
On top of that, they're coming off a great showing in the bubble.
Bubble. So they got size, they got shooting, they got skill. So we knew that they were going to improve this year. So like I wasn't like Booker eliminated Braun, but we all know if AD was there, that wasn't going to happen. So like I'm not overly surprised by that. But like looking at Trae Young, like I had New York beating Atlanta in the first round because I thought New York was just going to bully him and just not make it easy for him. And then for him to take Philly, which I think is probably the deepest team in the East, to a 7-game series and possibly could win tonight. Like I'm more impressed with that because he's putting on a show. He's being a showman. He's scoring. He's getting guys involved. Like he's doing everything. And like,
that's a fact.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
For me, I'm gonna go with Trae, and it's kind of crazy because despite the fact that I'm an OU alumni, he's an OU alumni, I've never really been a huge fan of his game when he first got to the league, just because of all the questions around, can he win? Is he a guy that's just going to put up big numbers, or can he actually win? Can he actually lock in defensively and figure out a way to be crafty given his body and his skill set in order to play winning basketball? And all of those doubts, he pretty much just
shattered
them this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really evolving not only into a numbers guy now, but a winner. And to me, that's kind of what impressed me the most about him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give two names.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna give two names. One, it might come off as a little bit of a shocker, but I just think that he's improved his gameplay, and that's Cam Payne. I think Payne on Suns having to step up for some of the games where Chris Paul was out, being that ball handler for them, playing that point guard role, actually hitting shots, trying to dig in defensively. Like, I wasn't expecting that from him.
Bro, he was 2 years ago, he was out of the league. Now he's producing right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, he definitely was.
And then two, it's gonna be the man that gave himself the name Playoff P, coming off of last year where it was trending way off P, pandemic P, all that stuff. The game Kawhi goes out, they have to go back and win. They win 2 games. They do it. He puts up numbers in that game, something that he didn't do in the bubble, something that he hasn't done in a very long time. For like, I gotta give him credit because I was one of those people in there hashtagging pandemic P. So I gotta give him his credit publicly too.
Hey,
you know what I mean? So
are you gonna fill out a apology form?
No.
Oh man.
No. I will admit that he had a couple of good games, and I'm gonna admit that on my platform. But going as far as filling out an apology letter, no, you're asking for too much now. I'm gonna just be real. All right, so let's quickly do this. Start, bench, cut. I'm gonna give you guys 3 players. You guys already know how this works. You're gonna have to start one, bench one, or cut one. So here we go. First one we got Melo, KD, and T-Mac.
Start, bench, cut. Melo, KD, T-Mac. KD, start. Bench. Ooh.
That's tough. That's tough.
KD start for sure.
Yeah, KD start for sure, but that
I'm bench. Oh shit.
I'll tell you mine. Is so you have a moment to think about it. I got you here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting KD. I'm benching T-Mac, and I'm cutting Melo.
I was going in that direction too.
I think I was going that direction too. But that's so tough.
That's still tough.
That's still tough. But I think that's what I'm going with. I think I'm going with starting KD, benching T-Mac, cutting Melo.
I think for me, I have to go obviously start KD, and I think I'm going to bench Melo just because Melo, like he's been consistent, like when he's in the league, when he's there, he's playing a lot of games. Like he's not missing a lot of games due to injury. He's available, and although T-Mac I think is a better player, I just feel that the number of games and that he's missed due to being injured is just it's tough to kind of put him against over Melo for me personally.
I think if you take I think the dynamic changes if you have them coming off the bench because they're not playing. The minutes are different, right? Like T-Mac was always putting up like 40 to 42 minutes a game and then getting injured like during the season. Coming off the bench, you can limit his minutes depending on if he's having a hot game or not. And
so T-Mac hasn't been past what? First round? Second round? I thought Melo got that Nuggets team to the conference finals. No,
I think it was second round, wasn't it?
Well, I know for sure he hasn't been past second round for sure. T-Mac has.
T-Mac made it to. T-Mac was on the Spurs when
that doesn't count.
Nah, he was on the bench. He was on the bench, and they made.
I'm not hearing that.
They made
I'm not hearing that, man.
Statistically, on his record, he went further. So,
I'm not hearing
Paul,
that.
what's your vote?
Yeah, I'd probably go the same. Start KD, bench T-Mac, cut Melo. My only thing about Melo, and I guess he has improved on this, in the recent years, is my main criticism about Melo is I felt like in terms of ball movement, he was always a guy that kind of
ball stopper.
As a ball stopper, and to me that was tough to watch. You know what I mean? Especially when the game started evolving more into a space and pace, pick and roll, ball movement type of action. Where back in Melo's era, when he first got in the league, it was a lot more face up ISO. Give me the rock, you guys move out of the way, ISO type stuff, right? So that would be my only criticism about Melo as a player. But I do believe that in the last couple of years, he has kind of been more self-aware of that and turning into more of a let me space and move the ball type of guy. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Next one, Ryan. I'm going to come to you to start this off. All right. So we got Iverson, Westbrook, Ja Morant.
Start bench cut?
Yeah.
Iverson, Westbrook, Ja Morant. Okay, I'm starting Iverson. Ja Morant can come off the bench, cut Westbrook.
Oh, Westbrook's getting the cut. Okay.
Yeah. And this one's tough too because Westbrook was my teammate. my bad, brother. But I gotta cut you. I mean, for me, Iverson, from what I saw growing up, being able to put a team on his back, just being that guy at that size to do it.
Yeah, man.
It was just incredible to me. Like you can't teach that. You can't teach that kind of heart, that kind of That would be the guy I want starting the game, setting off the tone immediately. Even if he doesn't play a ton of minutes, that's the tone I want to set.
The fact that this guy got one W against that, probably the best playoff team we've ever seen that 2000 Lakers squad.
The Lakers squad.
He got a W by himself against that squad in LA. Got to start him, period.
Yeah.
Facts.
What you guys got?
I got Iverson, bench Westbrook, cut Ja Morant. And only because Westbrook really has this stigma, like that people think that he don't pass the ball when he does everything. Like he does it everything, and he does it every night consistently.
Bro.
Like
every night.
Do that every night consistently.
Unless we're in the playoffs.
He averaged a triple-double for how many seasons straight?
3.
Like, that's insane.
That's crazy.
At the point guard position.
That's nutty, yeah.
Like,
that's nutty.
And for me, it's like, that's the type of motor that I want coming off my bench because the energy is just going to keep going. Once Iverson starts it, he's going to finish it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is to me. Like, he's going to finish it for sure. It's just like, every night. Seeing him doing that night in and that night out, no let-ups,
yeah,
that's crazy to me. That's like different, really different.
Yeah.
So I'm going with John Moran gets the cut, Westbrook on the bench, Iverson starts.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, King.
I'm the
Yeah,
same.
man. Like you said, Iverson starting the game like that, man. You got Westbrook coming in.
Yo,
Ain't
there's
no
not much you
bro.
can do.
There's nothing you can do.
There's not much you can do at all. At all.
Yeah.
I kind of like what Ryan said. I'm kind of leading towards there. I was originally going to say bench Westbrook and cut Ja, but the only thing that I would say is that I think Westbrook would respect Iverson a little bit too much. I think Ja's going to try to come for Iverson's job. So when he goes out there, because Ja acts like he doesn't respect anybody when he's on the court. You know what I mean?
It.
So
that
that dog in him, that's what makes me want to put him on the bench right there. So I'm gonna go Iverson and Ja and cut Westbrook. All right, we got two more quickly. So we got Dame, Steph, and Chris Paul.
Shoo. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Man.
So I'm going with, it's gonna be tough, but I'm going with, oh, this is tough. I think I'm going, oh man, I think I'm going with start Steph and bench I'm going with bench Dame and I'm cutting Chris.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
I think that's where I'm at too.
Man, I gotta be biased, man. Chris Paul been my favorite point guard since he was the Hornets, dog. I'm gonna start Steph. I'm gonna bench Chris and I'm gonna cut Dame, man. Like I gotta be biased, man. It ain't too many true point guards left, man. So
that's a fact.
I gotta leave him in there.
For me, this one's a little bit of an easier decision. I'm starting Steph, benching Chris Paul, cutting Dame, and for me, I'm thinking about winning. To be honest with you, I mean, Dame. Don't get me wrong. He is a guy who can put a team on his back. He's a guy who can put up big numbers, but just going off of what those guys have done, kind of, in terms of their winning records and playing that high level basketball, competing in the postseason. I mean, it speaks for himself,
Yeah.
Steph and
I definitely respect that. That's true. That's definitely true.
And that's one thing about Dame. We got to see if he can.
Gotta see if he can win.
Be able to compete for it.
Right. Yeah.
But to his credit, his organization is not helping him out, man. They're not helping him out at all. Like he's there every night. He's competing every night. Like he's in the same boat as Westbrook, as like he doesn't take plays off, he doesn't take games off. Like he's there. He's available, right? And it's just like you look at that roster and there's a whole bunch of inconsistencies. Like Cantor is there one year, he's not there the other there, and then Nurkic is he can't stop a nosebleed. And then you look at guys like CJ, who's there, and when he's there and he's on, he's really good. But then the other nights where he doesn't show up, and then Melo is there. So there's just a whole bunch of questions with that roster. I think they gotta really dig deep and kind of make a decision. And I think they gotta find something out, because Dame is one of those guys where he wants to be in a small market. He wants to be there, and there's not many guys who want to be in a small market and play there.
Right.
So it's tough.
It's good. I was actually going to start Chris Paul and bench Steph and cut Dame.
Steph got three championships.
It's not about that. I'm thinking about. I think any three of these people can start on any team. Like that's not even a thing.
For sure.
For sure.
I also think to make Steph's. If you look at what he had to do this one, where he is playing against all the starters and then to make his life a little bit easier, I'll let him go up against like the second unit of the next team. He can put up 50 points off the bench, and Chris Paul can just control the tempo while on the court, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so that's just how I look at it. So
yeah, that makes sense.
And the final one, Embiid, Joker, AD.
Oh, that's different. Embiid,
Joker, and
AD. Good Lord.
I think for me, I got to start Embiid. I think he's the most complete player there. I like Joker, but I don't know. Like defensively, he's not stopping anything. So like he's I don't know. For me personally, I got Embiid 1. I'm starting him off the bench. If AD is motivated, he's probably one of the best bigs in the league. Period. So I got AD off the bench, and then even though he's MVP this year, I gotta cut Joker because, I mean, he's kind of, to me, he's the same boat as Westbrook, where like he puts up a lot of numbers, but I don't know how much that affects his team's winning, personally. So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. I'm a fan of the bigs that can control the game in every aspect. So I'm starting Joker, and I'm having AD off the bench and cutting Embiid.
Damn.
I think I was kind of going that route too, like starting Joker. Yeah, I think I'm going with that. I think I'm cutting Embiid too. I think Joker does everything. He gets everybody involved. Like the man starts the break.
He does.
Brings the ball up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he literally does. I've seen some of the passes that he does when he gets triple team and double team. I'm just like,
he's skilled. Like, he's supremely skilled. But
my problem with Embiid too is that a person always hurt. That's one thing. But a person that can dominate the game like how he's supposed to be able to dominate the game, there shouldn't be games where he has 0 points. And there's been few times where he's actually finished on the stat line with 0 points and played a lot of minutes. Like in this league now, he has the potential to dominate. That should never happen. So
yeah, I think I'd probably do the same. I think I'd go Joker first. I go AD second just because of AD's ability to affect the game on both ends of the floor defensively as well.
Yeah,
that'll pick up for the slack that Joker is going to have defensively. And then with Embiid, I'm with you. There's just too many question marks around, whether he's going to be locked in on a certain day, whether he's, his maturity. I know he's gotten a little bit more mature over the years, but he kind of had some issues with that as well too. And if I'm a coach and I'm about to go into the foxhole with you and we're about to play a big game on the road, I don't want to have no questions about where your mind is at or if you're locked in.
That's fair.
If you had a bad Big Mac or something before the game that play, like, it's just way too many questions about this guy. Like, I don't know. I'm with you. Like, he should be dominating right now. Like, he should be the most dominant big. And it's just way too many inconsistencies. So,
and I need to know, and I don't know what game he's gonna fall in love with. Is he gonna be the one that only shoots 3 for the entire game, or is he actually gonna be banging up in the post? Like, I don't know which Embiid.
You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah, it's too much of a wild card.
And I don't really think either one of them, between him and Joker, I both don't think they're great defenders on that block. I think AD's the best defender, like, out of the 3.
Yeah, because he can guard multiple.
Yeah,
spots,
he's more like a guard too. Like AD's not really a 5. So
exactly. Yeah,
it makes it easy.
And shot blocking ability, obviously AD.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Joker, AD, and cutting Embiid.
Hey, I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah,
that's fair. All right, cool. So we got I got 5 quick questions for y'all. We'll just see where this goes. The best arena or stadium that y'all have ever played in?
Oh. Best arena or stadium.
Whether it be for just like the arena itself or the atmosphere with the fans, whether you be like whether you're on the road or home. I know probably OU probably has some crazy crowds.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even. For me, it's hard to say one, but I would say definitely Kansas, KU. That's crazy. It's because like just the history of that gym and the players that play
arena
the program, and then 2 minutes towards the end of the game they do the Rock Chalk Jayhawk. And it's like it's almost like surreal. You know what I mean? Like it puts goosebumps on your skin when you everyone just as one doing that chant for like 2 minutes straight. It's crazy. So that was one of craziest arenas I've played in. College, for sure.
Tough.
Shit, I think for me, the craziest arena I played in was probably like Indiana. When they had Yogi and Thomas Bryant. Like it felt like the fans are on the court, like in Freedom Hall, man. It was like the craziest thing ever. Like the best, probably the best student section I've ever seen in a college game. So I definitely have to say Indiana.
I'm gonna say Kentucky. Kentucky when they had DeAndre Liggins, Brandon Knight, they had Terrence Jones. It was different. It was different. Like playing in there, like it was so crazy. I forgot how much it holds. It might be 23, or it might be a little bit higher than that. We lost that game though, for sure. And we came out, but we played hard. We came out, and every fan was still in that arena, and they stood up, they rose up and clapped for us because we played so hard. Because I went to a mid-major, so they clapped for us, but it was so crazy, and everybody had blue on, like it was nuts. I said, yeah, Kentucky is different. Kentucky's different.
Okay, all right. Most underrated player in the NBA right now.
I'm gonna just say something while you guys think about that. I'm gonna say Norman Powell. I'm gonna say Norman Powell, and the only reason why I say that is just I looked at the lift that he gave Portland in those games when Dame needed a second, it ended up being Powell. And that's the crazy thing. It was supposed to be CJ or it was supposed to be Melo. It's not supposed to be the new guy that they get in there. But he was putting up, I think he averaged something like 22 points for the
playoffs.
Yeah, for that series, right? Like
Okay. Let me think. Oh man,
most underrated. That's
most underrated.
Yeah, it's tough because like you always hear like you watch like all the smoke, all that stuff. They always say Drew Holiday. His name's always thrown in there. Who else named thrown in there? I mean, yeah, it's tough.
Nah, it's tough as hell.
Okay,
let's change the question.
I'll change it.
Let's change the question. Who's the most underrated? It's still going to be along that lines, but who do you think is a player that should get more ratings?
More ratings. It's like tough.
And while y'all think about that, I just want to let you guys know, breaking news, KD has committed to playing for Team USA.
That's dope.
That's lit.
That's dope.
No breaks.
Yeah,
that's lit. That's definitely lit.
This guy is taking no days off. Let me just let you know
that
he's like, I missed ball for a year and a half. I'm playing
that ring.
He's in it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he wants
to answer that question. I'm gonna go with one of the Canadians. I'm gonna go with Boucher on the Raptors. I kind of like how he's improved.
Boucher.
Yeah, I think
I actually played against him. I played against him in college. Well, in JUCO.
Okay.
Who y'all talking about?
Yeah, Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
I played against him in JUCO, man, and to see him like his development from junior college to now, crazy.
For sure.
Crazy. Like he's always been shooting threes, blocking shots, but it's at another level now. So
yeah,
I can't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Damn, I'm still thinking about that though.
Yeah, me too.
So it's so many guys to consider.
It's like so many people you can like.
So like when you say rating, you like who should get more like attention?
Yeah. More attention. Yeah.
I think I like Shy from Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like Shy a lot. Like I think Shy is so tough.
His game's so smooth, bro. Like
so smooth, bro. It's like
pace.
It's
all that
pace, everything. Like so, I think he should get. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll get there, but also he's in the West, so it's gonna be tough. But
yeah.
And And his team's not even trying to win till 2027.
Yeah, they got like 500 draft picks. It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, they're wild.
Crazy.
He said they got like 500 draft picks.
The league is literally just gonna change the next draft to the OKC draft. Like every player is getting drafted to the Thunder. Like
it's nutty. Like they can possibly have 6 draft picks in the first round.
Yeah.
That's so nutty. Like what? That's crazy.
Xavier is still thinking over there.
Yeah, man. I don't even know which direction to go in, but I don't know. Like King said, I like Shea. I think he's definitely like, I would say under the radar, but he doesn't get as much attention that he should.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's a couple players I want to pick.
Dortz is the next one I would add to that list.
Who is that?
Dortz.
Yeah, I like him too. I was thinking about him too. And they're all Canadian, right? Like all of these guys are Canadian.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I like Dortz. I think especially alongside Shea, man. I think they're a good tandem.
They're a good tandem, yeah, facts.
They're a good tandem.
This kind of like a side thing, but what you all think about, like we're talking about Shea and Dort, they just added Kemba to that mix. You think they're gonna be a good squad next year?
I think they need to get Kemba out of there. Because Kemba, like, I don't really like the way Boston's doing all their point guards. You're never gonna win like that.
Yeah, they tripping, bro.
Like you did IT bad. Kyrie did whatever he did. So you know what I'm saying? That's on Kyrie. But then Kemba, it's like Kemba could have stayed in the Hornets for that. Like he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he could just stay there for the rest of his career. Like. So I feel like I don't think Boston's going to win with doing the way that they're doing their point guards. Like I don't think that's going to happen. But I think Kemba needs to go somewhere else. Like he needs to probably come to New York, like the Knicks. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he needs to come home, like play in New York now. Like you know what I'm saying? You from here, like so it's like you maybe need to do something like that, or else his career is just about to go.
Akeem's trying to get the Thunders more draft picks. That's crazy. they already got too many.
Okay. All right. Next question for y'all. Hardest player you guys have ever matched up against? Toughest matchup.
All right, I'm gonna go first, and this is a guy who was my teammate, so I'm gonna just go with our matchups in practice. I'm going Blake for sure. You know,
Blake in college was nutty, yeah.
Blake in college was something different. I'm known as a guy who's pretty athletic for my athleticism, and this is a guy when I seen how quick he can run from end to end, how he can jump and get his whole elbow at the box of the backboard, and so that he could do it. It blew my mind how somebody at that size could move and get up and down like he could. It was incredible. I think the first few games of his sophomore year, he was averaging like 20 and 20, something crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. There's really nothing that anyone could do with him. Like it looked like he was playing against kids. It was stupid. So yeah, I'm going Blake.
You said the toughest matchup?
Yeah. You ever had?
For me, I probably have to go Yogi Ferrell.
He's quick.
Yeah, man. In college, like he was different. Picking up 94 feet like the whole game. Mm-hmm. Him and what's the other dude name? James Blackman. Like I've never had nobody pick me up 94 feet, bro. And for him to do that like, the whole game, like he know, like I ain't never had that in my life, bro. But him to do that the whole game, bro, I've never seen nobody do that. But I mean, he did the whole game, man. He's probably like the toughest matchup I've had.
For me, toughest matchup I ever had. I'm trying to think like college-wise, like. Well, okay, so for me, toughest matchup I ever had, I was when I was in the D League, and I'm gonna say James Johnson, and he was just different. Like the league really shows you different sides of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not ready for the league, it's either you're going to stay here, you're going to grow, you're going to fall down. Like the league really messes with your mental. because I know how good he is, but it's different when you get on certain teams. You got to play a certain type of role. And it's just like your mental starts getting to you. But he was different. Like I remember one game, we was down like probably like 22 in the fourth quarter. We was playing against the Texas Legends, and we was down 22 in the fourth quarter. I think Isaiah Cannon had got hurt, so coach put James, the point guard, and he went crazy. Like he went different. Like it was like we came back, lost the game by like maybe like 2. Like, but he went so crazy. But it was just like that was definitely my hardest matchup. Like in practice, he was just so shifty, and he picked up. Like he's going, you know what I'm saying? He's picking up the ball. Like so he was so shifty. Like and he was like Euro step. So and you know he's 6'9", so he's flying down the court like he's winning. You're doing too much for me. You're doing way too much. Like lost me.
Okay,
but yeah. So I would say him.
Dope. All right, so. Kind of other side of that, your favorite player to go up against. So somebody who like they like whenever you guys go up against, like they always bring the best out of you, whether they're talking shit or they're just like the way how they hoop, they're just always a good battle.
I'm gonna go with X. I'm gonna go with X. Like I remember, like we used to go
at it, bro.
Like at it, like. When we played for NBL, he played for London, I played for KW, especially in the playoffs.
Oh my God, bro.
It was different. Like I got a photo of us, like in the paper. That photo, I still got that photo, like in the paper, like literally trash talking in the paper to each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like it was fun though. Like I'm gonna say X because it was just like it was different. Like he always like, you know what I'm saying? And we don't guard each other often, but it's like if he gets a bucket on somebody that I know, like that's on my team, or I'm coming down getting a bucket on one of your players, like, and I'm looking at him and he's staring at me. We talking back and forth, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
Word.
Facts, man. I always respect, bro. I always respect. I probably got to say Chris Jones. He went to my JUCO a couple years before I got there, so it was kind of like he took me up under his wing, and. I mean, I seen him play at Louisville. I actually think he should be in the league, to be honest with you. He's that type of talent. But, like, playing against him, man, like, shifty, the footwork, just everything about his game, bro. It's always been a crazy matchup. So I'll probably have to say Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go with another Canadian big, fellow Sauga City native, Andrew Nicholson. I've never played against him in a professional game, but for the past couple of summers, we've been working out together. We, usually get in the gym, do some post-work stuff, and that's a guy who I think just overall as a Canadian big man, I think is really underrated. His footwork is next level. His ability to finish left hand, right hand with a hand in his face is next level. Playing inside, outside. That's a guy who I really like going up against because I feel like I take something from him when he goes up against me, and I feel like he gets something too, going up against me, being able to have another body to bang against and stuff. So I feel like it's one of those where we have battles, but it's one of those where we leave the gym both becoming better players. So I really enjoy getting in the gym with him during the summertime. I think it's a great matchup for us.
Dope. All right, and the last one I got for y'all, your favorite pregame meal.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to eat too much before the game. I don't like to feel too heavy. So I'll probably have like a lot of fruit. If I do eat something, maybe some pasta, maybe some whole wheat pasta, something like that. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe some chicken breast. But other than that, I don't like to eat too much. Like, so I'll literally like have a lot of fruit, a lot of fruit. I'll even have fruit at halftime. Like I'll have oranges and stuff like that. But I don't like to feel too heavy before the game. So a lot of times I won't even like, unless it's hours before, I won't even do it to myself because that food will sit on your stomach.
Facts.
Me, I'm going chicken parmesan. I need it. I have to have that chicken parmesan, man.
Have to have it every time.
Man, I be needing that chicken parm, bro.
Yeah, pre-game, I'm kind of like Akeem. I don't really like to have it that's too heavy in my stomach. I'll usually go like chicken breast, some rice, a little bit of light vegetables or salad, and then if I get hungry before game time, I'll just get some fruit. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So all of y'all have played professionally. You guys all played basketball. It's taken you to places where maybe you didn't think you were actually going to go before, opened up some doors for you guys. So like, give us a breakdown of like kind of how your story is and how you got to where you're at right now.
For me, at the time when I was younger, I would say I wasn't really that good. Well, at least, that was just a confidence thing. And then like I got kind of good. And then, when I got to junior college, I won a championship in high school, first of all, then I went to junior college. When I got to junior college, I won National Player of the Year in 2010. But I didn't know what Division I was at the time. I was just playing basketball for the love of playing basketball. So I didn't know what Division I was. I just went to JUCO. I was going to hoop, whatever. I was with my best friend from college. I went there, ended up winning the championship, ended up going to nationals, lost to nationals. And then I ended up going to Coppin State in Baltimore, Division I. And then everything just kind of like really took off from there. Like, and I transferred from being, I played center in high school, and I transferred from playing center to playing point guard for 4 years of college. Crazy. So it kind of like changed my game, like up my stock. You know what I'm saying? Like I already knew how to handle the ball. I was just tall.
Yeah.
So, when you get that stigma of being tall, you're a center and powerful.
He's a big man.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, you're not nothing else. You're a center.
Backing up all the threes.
Exactly. But you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how like my, a quick version of my story. I went to Coppin. I ended up going to the D League after my first year. And then from there, I just left and I've been playing overseas ever since. Like, I think this might be my first year that I go back to the D League coming up now, but with the G League now. But after that, I just took off and I started going overseas. So I've been to like France, Canada a couple times. I played there, England, China, South America a couple times. So
dope.
Proper.
Well, for me, I didn't even really get into basketball until like I was in high school. I played pretty much everything, like baseball, football, until I got to 9th grade. Then I started focusing on basketball more. And I mean, I wasn't really planning to go to college. I was just playing, like King said, because I love the game. And I actually got recruited because another guy that I was playing against had a coach at the game. So I got my first college offer probably like in March, close to the end of the season, at a junior college. And then after I got my first offer, a couple more offers rolled in. I decided to go junior college in Florida. So I stayed there 2 years. The second year I actually won the national championship. So after those 2 years, I transferred to Morehead State. And did my 2 years there, had a good senior season. I wasn't really like focusing on playing pro, wasn't thinking about it. And then my coach was like, man, you need to think about playing pro, man, signing an agent and all that. So my uncle helped me out with that, man, signed an agent. A couple months later, ended up getting a deal in France, second division. So I took the deal in France. I stayed there for like 7 or 8 months. Me and the coach didn't get along, so I ended up leaving, came back to the States, played in New York, and what is now the TBL, when I played there in APB. Played there with my uncle, Smush Parker, a couple other guys that played in the league. Won Rookie of the Year there, lost in the finals. Played in Canada the last 2 years. And then like a month ago, I was in Israel. So I just got back from Israel. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole journey, man. I wasn't really like focusing on what was next. I was just playing the game because I loved it, and just so happened to get an opportunity.
I'm gonna do a cut. Like it's crazy that you mentioned that you never really thought about playing ball and stuff, because like being from Toronto, like I know who your uncle is, like being Xavier Moon, like having that as your uncle and then not being interested in ball, like that's and then turning out to be like MVP and CBL and stuff like that. Like that's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, man. It was like growing up, it was just pretty much watching him. And I think he shifted my whole mindset once he made it to the league. And I was in like 8th grade. So, I mean, 8th grade going to 9th grade, going into high school, that's when my whole mindset changed about basketball. I mean, obviously he was in the league then, but when he was around, it was all basketball at that point. So I think him making it to the league is what changed my whole mindset.
Dope.
Yeah, my story, I'm going to try to compress it as much as I can. You know, 20 plus years, I'll compress it. But, you know, I grew up playing everything. And, you know, obviously I focused on basketball. I grew pretty quick. I was dunking a basketball by the time I was like 12, 13. So it was kind of one of those where you walk into a gym and it's like, no, you got to join our team. You got to play ball. So
growing up in the city, I remember seeing you in the papers, man. You, Prince. I remember seeing. That whole vibe in Toronto was crazy. So
I kind of came up in the era of. I mean, before us, it was Denham Brown, Jamal McClure, but there weren't too many guys going D1 or making a big, you know, being on the big stage in the States in terms of AU and all that. So I kind of grew up in the era where we were kind of just starting to break the door open in terms of guys like Javon Shepherd, you know, different guys, in Oliver Prince, different guys in our era. So
Tristan Blackwood.
Yeah, Tristan Blackwood. Yeah. So I just stuck with it. And to be honest with you, I was just going off of just raw athleticism at that point. You know what I mean? Raw athleticism, size, and height. And I ended up playing a couple AAU tournaments. I played in what was known as the Vegas Big Time Tournament at that time. I got invited to Nike camp in the States and stuff like that, and I ended up showing up pretty well. So I had a lot of offers at the time. I ended up committing to UCLA. And in my college days, it was a rude awakening for me because, you know, coming from Canada where I was, you know, pretty much dominating based on athleticism, and I wasn't able to do that at that level. I had to basically start from the bottom, start from ground zero again, and kind of work my way up. So, you know, I had my ups and downs in college, but I just kind of kept at it, and you know, ended up transferring to OU after being on a couple of successful teams at UCLA. Made the Final Four twice. Transferred to OU, and then from there, I just you know, had a better junior and senior year, and ended up finding an agent and signing my first pro contract after that in Turkey. And ever since then, basketball's been taking me all around the world, from Turkey to China to, you know, Poland, Hungary, Ukraine, Taiwan, Australia, you know,
crazy
countries to name it.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you know, I kind of tell people that for me, I didn't really feel like I developed as a player until I went pro. Because once you know, in college, you know, you could very easily fall into a situation where you're a piece on the team. You're really unable to focus on your own game and your own development, because you have to more do what it takes to fight for your minutes and things like that. Whereas as a pro, they're signing you to play. They're signing you to play 20, 30 minutes a game and to produce, right? So now it's like, okay, now I got to start working on some things in order to keep a job.
Maintain.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Maintain. So I think that forced me to really improve on my game and different aspects of my game that I didn't really have in college, and now I'm at where I'm at, and I'm just at the age where I'm just, you know, every year is a blessing now, and I want to just keep doing it for as long as I can. So
that's what's up, man. For real.
That's crazy.
That's dope.
That's crazy. I mean, you guys all kind of touched on your story and stuff, but like, I guess my next question would be like, when was that moment for you guys where you guys realized, okay, shit, I got a chance to really go play pro and make some money doing the stuff that I love to do? Like, I know X, you were saying that you and Akeem were both saying that you guys love playing ball, right? So like, when did your mind shift from, okay, I love playing this game, now let me go get some money out of this?
My mind probably didn't shift to my senior year in college. My first coach I had ended up getting fired because of some stuff going on with the team. And then my second, like the coach that got that took his spot came in and was like, man, you can really make some money playing this game of basketball. Like, I want to give the keys to the team to you. And I'm like, man, if he's saying that, then, I mean, I feel like I should put more effort into playing the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, from that day, I started taking it way more serious, man. That's when I was, like, really in the gym, like, every early morning, late nights, and we was working like crazy. And kudos to him for actually telling me that and helping me to get where I am now.
Dope.
I think for me, the shift was probably it wasn't college. It was when I first got to the D League, and I started being around like Isaiah Kynan, Rob Covington, Troy Daniels, James Johnson. I'm around all those guys that coming down from they with Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were the ones who were telling me like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're up there, but you can get up there as well. But you can also go make money. Like, you know what I'm saying, other places. And my coach, his name was Coach Nevada. He had coached a D3 school, I think like in Pennsylvania or upstate somewhere. And me and him got really close throughout the season. And he always like told me like, yo, like, I think that you could be, you know what I'm saying, bigger than just coming off the bench here for me. You know what I'm saying? And I think like after that, like, I had like a coach came to see me. He's from Canada. And then that next season I ended up in Canada. Then that next season after that, I ended up in China. Like, it was just like, it just trickled down, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think like I really like was like, all right, until I got to the D League. And then these guys were putting in major work, like 3 hours before the games, you know what I'm saying? Like, James would come knock on my door late night, like, yo, let's get some shots up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like different stuff like that. It was like, they were putting in major works. So it was just like, all right, I see what it takes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I think that was kind of the switch for me.
Yeah, I think for me, it was definitely right after my last game of my senior year. That at that point, that's when all the hand-holding stops. You know, when you're in college, there's a lot of hand-holding. A lot of people setting schedules for you. You have your laundry done. You have cafeteria. You have all types of, everything's regimented, right? And after that final buzzer of your final game stops, now it's like, okay, it's on you. What do you want to do now? Are you going to work out? You're going to wake up in the morning to work out? Are you going to set some time to get your lift in? Are you gonna, set up some gym time to get some runs in with a couple other pros to stay ready? At that point, it's completely on you to get yourself prepared for the next level. So once I kind of had that situation, I really realized that, okay, this is where I want to be. I have a passion for getting myself in the gym and trying to prepare myself and get myself ready and I kind of realized that, okay, this is where I want to be. This is the real world now. And once I got that first job, from there, my love for the game just grew even more and more and more, and just becomes something that you kind of like, that's all you see yourself doing at that point, right? And you put into it. So yeah, I've just kind of been taking it 1 year at a time from there, and now I'm in year 12. So
year 12.
That's crazy. So here's my question for you guys. You guys are pulling up to runs. And it's you, and you need 4 players that you've played with. Who are the 4 players that you're picking up for your runs?
Well, I mean, if I'm going with my college teammates, my runs are gonna sound like a NBA All-Star run. I'm going me, Blake, Russell Westbrook. I'm going Luke Ba-Mute at the 3, and I'm going Willie Warren shooting guard at the shooting guard.
Dope. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna go with X at the 1.
Oh, you rocking with your boy?
I'm gonna go with X at the 1. I might go with X at the 2, and go with Akeem Scott at the 1. I just know both of them gonna go back and forth.
He's a dog.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go X, Akeem Scott. I'm gonna go myself at the 3. I'm gonna go Flynn at the 4. And last one is, I don't know, it's between Grandy and D Hole and Derek Hall. I don't know, because Grandy, I might go with D Hall.
Grandy's a double.
That's what I'm saying. Grandy's a double. But I feel like D Hole's a double too, and he got some size. But like Grandy gonna be doing everything. Like everything. Yeah. So I might go Grandy. I probably go Grandy, Flynn, myself, X, Akeem Scott.
Okay. Okay.
I'll probably do that.
This is probably the third time that I've heard somebody come on here and say Akeem Scott.
Yo, he's a dog. I can't even lie.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog.
He's a big time.
Thanks. I'll probably go with myself at the 1. I put my uncle at the 3.
Okay.
DeAndre Thomas at the 5.
That's easy.
Let me see. I'll say Mo Bowden at the 4. I played with Mo in London. And I say Smush Parker at the 2.
Smush. Okay.
Yeah, man. Smush.
Good to hear, man.
Smush got some shit to him, man. Like, for real. I played against him for a couple months, man. He taught me a lot of stuff. That's stuff,
crazy.
Man. So,
yeah, Smush definitely different.
Smush, he got a lot of stuff to him.
That's crazy to hear because like media always runs with stuff, always runs with shit, and you always hear his name being dragged through the mud, right? So it's crazy to hear.
That's why
them speak for him. That's dope.
Man. You can't. I mean, that's why you can't listen to what the media say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I was around him for 4 months, and I mean, I was a sponge. Like, he was telling all the tricks of the NBA and doing this on defense, how to get away with little stuff like that, man. Mm-hmm. Like, he probably one of the smartest players I played with. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely can't leave Smush out of that, man.
Yeah, tough. All right, well, the last question I got for y'all, you guys are all like your stories are like they speak for themselves, like who you've played with, who you've played for, where you've played, all that speaks for itself. So like, I guess my question would be like for those guys who are coming up trying to get to the next level, either they're playing college or playing JUCO, trying to get from a JUCO to like, I don't know, like a D1 or whatever. Like we've all watched Last Chance U and stuff. What kind of advice would you give to some of those young guys that are looking to kind of get to the next level?
I would just say you got to stay consistent. Like, you got to stay consistent with your routine. You got to stay consistent with your grind. Like, it's definitely not easy. Like, it's not easy at all, especially if you, like, you know, like, I know, like, coming from a mid-major for me, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely, like, the looks aren't the same. Everything's not the same, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be consistent with your grind. Like, you got to understand, like, if this is what you want to do, that you got to put your time in. Like, you got to lock in with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, it's never like a easy day. The days that you don't want to get up is the days that you need to get up. You know what I'm saying? Those are the days that's going to get you past to where you got to get to. Those are the days that's going to put you over the top. Like, and don't ever think that the work that you're doing right now is going to pay off tomorrow. The work that you're doing right now might not pay off till next year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't think it's just going to pay off tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not pay off till next year. Like, so that would be my advice.
It's dope. It's tough.
To kind of piggyback on what Akeem said, like, just staying on your grind. One thing a coach had always told me, and I'll probably remember this till the day I die, he said, success never rewards the wrong person. So I feel like, I mean, you put in you're going to get out what you put in. So if you put in the work, man, it's going to speak for itself. And like you said, late nights, early mornings, when you don't feel like doing it is the time that you need to do it and try to do it at your best. And I've been a witness to it. I seen my uncle go through the whole process, from every league in the world to getting to the highest level. So, I mean, people can say it can't be done until somebody does it. So, I mean, you gotta keep going. Keep going. I would say don't listen to the naysayers, but always have that little mind. I mean, that little thought in the back of your head, like, okay,
you know,
I got to prove them wrong.
Guys or younger guys who can have a lot of career overseas, especially. I would say definitely be open-minded, be coachable, and also do what it is that you can do at the highest level to help a team win. I once had a coach tell me that when they scout players, this is a European coach. He told me when they scout players to their team, the first two things that they look at, that he looked at, and personally, he said he looks at character, and he looks at, is this kid a winner? Those are the first two things he looks at. And then after that, he goes to basketball. Okay, what are his percentages? What can he do? You know, what kind of things can he do with the ball? But high character guys and winners, that will get you so far in this game. I mean, I know guys who are the most talented guys in the world, raw talent, should probably be playing in the league, but couldn't find a job overseas anywhere because of the stigma against them, whether they had some issues, you know, not being the greatest teammate or stuff that they had going on off the court or stuff that was detrimental to the team. And that was it. That was all that was keeping them from getting a bag overseas or being in the league. You know what I mean? And I've on the flip side, I've seen guys who weren't the most talented guys. I've seen guys who, you know, maybe played D2, whatever, D3, NAIA, and they're overseas making six figures, making money. You know, and those are guys that, hey, you know what? I may not be the most talented guy, but I'm big and I can rebound. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get 20 boards a game. And I'm the hard screens. I'm going to run the floor. I'm going to get 20 boards a game. And I'm going to make my impact on the game that way. You know what? There's teams overseas that have money that'll pay for that. They'll pay for that. They'll pay for a guy to run up and down the court, set hard screens and rebounds. So
that'll pay for that for sure.
So you know, never be too prideful to just kind of be like, okay, cool, this is what I can do at the highest level. I'm going to be a great teammate and do this at the highest level. There's opportunities for you know, for all types of players. So I would say those things for sure. Yeah.
Man, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
For sure.
He talked about character, man. I had a coach that had hit me up about a job one time. And he talked to my agent, and my agent said he never asked for film. He never asked for none of that. He just asked about my character, body language. I mean, all that stuff matters. And people think it's about scoring 30, 40 points a game. Like, some of these coaches don't care about that, man. They care about, are you a good person in the locker room? Like, when we losing, if we're going through adversity, are you going to quit, or are you going to fight your teammates, or are you going to do something like that? So it's always about your character. I think it's about your character more than it is about your game.
That's some really dope advice right there. I hope these young players listen to it. But I do want to close this out by saying one thing. I forgot about one player for the player to highlight for the playoffs. And that player is Reggie Jackson.
Come on, man.
Reggie Jackson.
Bobby Shmurda.
Come on,
man. He's been putting up numbers for the Clippers this playoff.
Nah, he has still no cap. He has. He been shooting shit out of the ball.
I kind of
just checked the score for the game one, and I'm gonna wrap this up because there's probably like 8 minutes left in the game, and I want to see the ending of it. But he already has like 20 points up in that game right now. So, so we've reached a part of the podcast where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we might be working on. So, Akeem, we'll start with you.
Prince King 25 on the gram. Right now I actually do have a podcast coming out. It's called Bonnet Poppy. It's for like it's like, you know, like just it's between men and women, like conversational stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like discussions like of how men feel about this and how women feel about that, debates. There'll be like games and stuff like that. So I do have that coming up. I'm working on content and stuff right now. So I have that coming up in a few. I actually made an Instagram and all that stuff for that already. I haven't put anything on
there, you can just follow me on Instagram, RB1, on Twitter, Ryan _Wright1. And right now I'm so focused on like just with ball and but anything I got going on, you'll see it on there. So
locked in.
Watching, just keep up with me on those platforms.
Yeah. Bet.
Dope. Xavier.
Instagram, xmoon02. I'm not really on, I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on there like that. Xavier _Moon. Like Ryan said, man, I'm just focusing on basketball right now. So yeah, pretty much everything that I got going on will be posted on my Instagram.
Okay.
I gotta tune in for when Stingers and the Blackjacks play this year.
For sure. For sure.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
I gotta tune into that.
I'm on it.
Coach.
Oh yeah, my IG is real deal _ Francis, and we just got the okay to be back in the gym. So back in the gym soon.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And as for me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Senator. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast with myself, Nino Rockwell, Kino the Great. Comes out every Friday. Don't forget to check out Talks with the Chatterbox with the chat room's own pro Chatterbox and Baritone Levy. They just put out their first episode in about 8 weeks. This last week Thursday, so go check that out. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and share the Chatroom Podcast on all podcast platform and especially on YouTube. We're trying to get those YouTube subscribers up. So head over to YouTube, search the Chatroom Podcast, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow our Instagram page at the.chatroompod. If you like the content, if you have any questions that you felt like we should have asked the guests and we didn't, email them to us at thechatroompod@gmail.com. I always go last because I have to plug so many things, as you guys can see. But
hey, I'll just say this. I looked at the schedule. Y'all play July 5th, so I'm gonna be locked in.
I will say that last year I watched a few games. I think this year I'm even gonna be more locked in because last year I think I wasn't doing as much sports. This year I'm back doing sports, but the games don't conflict with them, so it works out perfect. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna be locked in because Junior is my dog. And the last time I watched Junior in X play, X dropped Junior. So I'm a hey man, I gotta see it. I gotta see it because Junior's a dog too. So I definitely gotta see that for sure.
For sure. He definitely a dog.
I gotta see that.
But yes, before we wrap this up, just want to say thank you to our guests for coming on here. Hope y'all had a good time. Hope you guys liked the conversation and all that stuff. But we appreciate having you guys on.
Appreciate y'all for sure. Appreciate y'all.
No, for sure. Thanks for having us.
Man, it's all love, man. It's all love.
Yes, sir.
And this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast. And we are out.
Peace. Appreciate y'all.